Hello everyone, it's Jack from VFXHUT. So today we want to look at the motion imperfections, and in particular we'll be using motion imperfection 6. So when you hit the download button, you'll be greeted with a PNG sequence, a super slow-mo footage which is about 7 minutes long, and then one slightly sped up to 2 minutes 15, and then there's the same again but as an MP4. So you've got multiple options depending on your render engine. If it's still not fast enough, you can speed it up using either frame jumping if your renderer supports it, or if not, you've got the option to just start from this file, probably because it's the highest quality, and then just speed it up to your desired length. So without further ado, let's jump in. So you want to start by creating a Octane universal material. Image texture, just cancel that for now. Tie the image texture to the albedo, and then we just want to click in the image texture and drag the first frame of the PNG sequence in. So now if we go to animation, we change this to simple, keep this to range, move the end frame. If we just press calculate, it should find the last frame, and frame range 4000, and as we're on frame 3409 and nothing's appeared, we probably just need to send it to the render engine again. There we go, we can see it's appeared, not very strong. So what we need to do to make that a little bit brighter is the usual: drop a color correction on, change the gamma a bit lower maybe, and there we can see our imperfection is coming up. And if we add contrast, we'll get a little bit of the shape back. There we go, like that. So what we want to do now is we want to make this, it should look like it's running down as its video. Perfect. It's the other way around, so we just need to make sure we flip it. We can either flip the texture, or in this case it's easy to just flip the plane because it's exactly the same length. Cool. I guess that's the right direction now. So now we just want to just get this into the bump and the roughness instead. So if you feed that into roughness and feed it into bump. We'll turn the camera off just temporarily and quickly go and see that it's looking like it's on the right side. So with the bump, we need to invert that. So it bumps out like that. If you want it to look like it's coming through this plane, it helps it make it look more like a drop, whereas that kind of makes it look like it's been embeveled. But either way, you've got two different looks to play with. And then we just need to make it glass. It's as simple as that. So the reason we started with a universal material is just so that we can see it, make sure that because you haven't got an albedo channel on a specular material, so it's hard to see how strong the effect is, especially if it's working as well, because animation does sometimes play up. So if we just go to our basic settings, change this to a specular material, yeah, Octane should be fine. And just move that out of the way for a bit, and let's spin this round so we just get a bit of catch. Let's pick a better HDR. As this is a lazy scene, we've got no bounce light, so we need to probably create a floor. Just bring that in there like so. And then if we use path tracing, we should get a bit of light. Actually, that HDR works quite well, so we can see inside and see outside. So what we want to do is we want to just create a bit of depth of field so we can really hone in on this effect. So we'll go to Universal, drop our f-stop to about 2, focus pull on just these drops, and now we can see them nice and clear. We use the camera imager and then just drop them highlights down a little bit. So the beauty of this effect is, if we look at this now, we've got so much flexibility, because that looks more like goo. It's not necessarily great, it doesn't look like liquid. So what we want to do is we just want to jump in the bumps, smooth it off a little bit by just 0.03, maybe a little bit more. It's a little bit nicer and a bit more pleasing. Again, if we didn't invert it, it would look like this. Probably more accurate for this angle, to be fair. So if we go something like that, what you'll see now is that this plays and actually runs on the window, which is absolutely amazing. It still surprises me that this isn't like an industry standard thing as much. But the more people that get these sort of effects out would be cool. So just a note with our motion imperfections, as you can understand, because it's complicated and it's not generated by a computer and it's filmed, we can't make them seamless. So they're as big as they've been filmed, which is the size of a conservatory window. So if you consider that when using the effect, then they should always work out quite well. But it's not stopping you from using it for other things. You can use this on a car window screen. You can also crush the values as well. So if we do that now, if you really crush these, you'll get tiny spots, which is probably alright for drinks or commercials, in terms of like soap bottles and that sort of thing. But then if you wanted crazy amounts, you can do things like this. But equally, you might have to start, if you do this crazy, you might need to jump in, potentially even remove the bump altogether, or just make it so subtle, even subtler than that, so that you get that kind of effect instead. You could even then use a noise to drive as well to add even extra variation, so it makes it more realistic. The possibilities are really quite cool with this, and it's quite an exciting thing to play with. So hopefully you found that useful, insightful, and hopefully subscribe, because they are pretty cool. We'd love to make some more of these. But yeah, if you drop in the comments if you want these sort of things, we can keep on adding to the library. It's a complicated beast to capture, but it is fun, and it does create some wicked renders. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.